Why Buy Local Beef by Kyle Best. Buying locally raised wholes, halves, and quarters of beef. There are many local farmers and ranchers that raise their products and sell directly to a local market, and there are many reasons to buy locally grown foods. Last year, the pandemic showed us some of the issues that we have with the global food system. In addition to toilet paper and hand sanitizer being scarce, meat shelves were bare and eggs were rationed in the supermarket. When considering buying local beef directly from a farmer or rancher, consider the following: the type and age of the animal, how the cattle are raised, the processing plant that the animal is delivered to, the price difference between the grocery store retail price, and what you will pay for your locally raised steaks, roasts, and ground beef. Before reviewing these considerations, a quick explanation of quality grade and yield grade would be useful. At small plants that do custom processing, they usually don't have a certified USDA grader grading the carcasses. Whether they are officially graded or not, quality and yield still affect consumer satisfaction. Quality grade is a composite evaluation of factors that affect palatability of meat, tenderness, juiciness, and flavor. USDA quality grades in order from highest to least are Prime, Choice, Select, and Standard. Yield grade is an estimate of the percentage of expected cutability from a carcass. If the carcasses are yield graded, a 1 is the highest cutability to a 5, the lowest cutability. Because genetics play a role in beef quality and yield, the breed of the animal will have some effect on quality and yield. For example, Bos indicus, which is an eared, heat-tolerant breed, meaning it has big ears, big floppy ears, and it is mostly raised in fairly hot places, are high yielding, but the meat tends to lack tenderness. Examples would be Nelore and Brahman. Bos Taurus, continental breeds. Some examples would be Charolais, Gelbvieh, Limousin, and Simmental. They tend to be higher yielding, but are more prone to have lower quality primals, meaning it's less tender and juicy, compared to British breeds. British breeds such as Angus, Hereford, and Shorthorn tend to be a lower yielding, but tend to consistently produce high quality beef. The way cattle are raised affects the taste and the price, according to Penn State Assistant Professor Tara Felix in her YouTube lecture, which is linked below. When cattle are grass-raised and grass-finished, they require more resources because it takes more days to finish them and more acres of land to grow pasture forage for them. The additional needed resources to grass-finished cattle have to be passed along to the beef customer to be economically sustainable. Grass-finished beef is less likely to reach prime or choice when comparing like genetics, raised in grass-raised, grain-finished system. Grain-finished beef requires less resources. They take less days and less acres to finish. The yield of grains that go into finishing rations make this production system economical and efficient, and cattle finished on grain are more likely to reach prime or choice quality grade when comparing like genetics. Again, this information is provided by the USDA National Institute of Food and Agriculture and Penn State Extension. The farmer or rancher you purchase your beef from has the option of delivering to a local registered exempt plant or local inspected slaughter and custom processing plant. Registered exempt plants are inspected for sanitation and to verify records and labeling. The animal is not inspected, and because the product cannot be resold quarterly, inspections are done to verify the place is labeling all packages not for sale, and reviewing plant records that show that people are getting their meat back. At inspected plants, an inspector is there every day inspecting the health of each animal, the wholesomeness of each carcass, the food safety records, and the sanitation of the plant. In custom processing, you can have your carcass cut and wrapped to what suits your family, from the size of the roasts to the number of steaks per package. The plant will talk you through how to have your beef processed the way you want it. This diagram shows where 8 retail cuts come from on a carcass. From the brisket, here, to the ribeye, here, to tri-tip roast, here. In looking at the comparison prices of a locally raised wholes, halves, and quarters to the same cuts in pounds at a grocery store, there is usually a substantial savings in buying local beef. This chart shows the pricing of each cut and the pounds of each cut in a quarter using grocery store pricing from May. The total cost of buying all those cuts at retail would be $1,290.19. Best Angus beef customers would pay $541.60 for the equivalent cuts and percentages. This is the comparison cost of 1/4 of a 1,300-pound live animal with a dressing percent of 63%. The total of $541.60 comes from the following costs: a 205-pound quarter at $2.70 per hot carcass weight, 85 cents per pound for cutting and wrapping, $150 per head for slaughter and disposal. When you compare the retail cost to a locally raised whole, half, and quarter, you can see the value of buying local. This was the Young Guns 4-H Club steers in 2019. You can buy local beef from a 4-H member, connect with Pride of Dakota Registry, word of mouth, social media, and local farmers markets are all ways to connect with a farmer rancher that sells direct to customers. A number of sources were used in this video. They are how much meat to expect from a beef animal from the Farm Direct Beef website, cattle breeds from the beef2live.com website, the National Institute of Food and Agriculture website, grass-fed beef versus grain-fed beef, Penn State Extension YouTube channel, beef grading, sdsu.edu website, and USDA beef grading from Texas A&M Meat Sciences website.